time. Sign up, it's recruiting time.
I am a self-taught makeup artist. I did not go to school for it. I also got all my certifications through them, and when I started YouTube, I was on my 4th year at MAC Cosmetics, and I was currently a product specialist with the company. So I was moving upward, you know, and my freelance business had just started getting much busier.
Drip too hard, gotta zip too hard. They gon' fuck around and drown off this way. Pretty little toes, stunting on these hoes. Buy another bag soon as I get paid.
Really?
Lay down on the beach, they be feeding me my catfishes. Cause there's raining men, fat bitches. Look at y'all looking ass niggas, stop looking at my ass niggas. Look at y'all lying ass niggas talking about his paid off with his finance. Pop a perk, now I'm on lift off. Ass still fat, it's on Rick Ross.
Big deal what was actually going on in my life, though. I blamed it on me and John not being able to pay our bills. And I have struggled and continue to struggle. And we had absolutely nothing, like not a penny in our pocket. And when John and I first got married, like it was really tough and it was just like really dirty and grungy, and we get in smoking like a pack of cigarettes a day and like in and out of just like nasty, nasty motels. And living on food stamps, and John was a junkie.
Employ these niggas, they be grown men, but I little boy these niggas. Went to cookie so I got the chips ahoy these niggas. But I never iPhone, Android these niggas. Use rubbers with them, I don't ever roar these niggas. More money than a mama, son, all these niggas. I ain't shopping, but it's like I gotta store these niggas. Put them on timeout and never call these niggas. Pussy like girls, damn, is my pussy gay? It's a holiday, play with my pussy day. Pussy this, pussy that, pussy taken. Pussy ride dick like she a Jamaican. Pussy stay warm, pussy on vacation. You loose bitches need a pussy renovation. You can eat it with a pussy reservation. Pussy about to get a standing ovation. Clap, clap, clap for this pussy nigga.
So many times, I've flown to Africa 9 times in my life. I'm very scared of traveling over water. Where would be your ultimate dream vacation? Santorini, baby. I want to go to Italy, I want to go to France, and I want to go to Santorini.
This ain't Chanel, nigga, custom down. What the fuck, I ain't smoking hot, bust me down. You the same clown nigga that was running me down. Now you all up in the stores cause you wanna be down. I said rule number 1 to be a boss ass bitch. Never let a clown nigga try to play you. If he play you, then rule number 2, fuck his best friends, then make them yes men. And get a dick pic and then you press send. And send a red heart and send a kissy face. And tell him that his friends love how your pussy tastes. And that's rule 3, I'm the school T. My wrist look like I am a jewel thief. But that's just cause I am a boss bitch. Now macaroni cheese and grill my swordfish. Bitch, 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 bitch. I'm a boss ass bitch, 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 bitch. I'm a boss ass bitch, 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 bitch. If he catch my drift, he could catch my jizz. I be out in Cali running all my business is. I be out in Cali watching back my Christmas vids. Every time I fuck him, yes, I tell him this is his. Look down at it and I said this is big. Man, my game's so cold, I said this is rigged. Best flow in the game, this is not a lie. Telling bitches cross they T's and dot they I came back, bitches flow still boring. I said damn man, go back to whoring. You know I still lead the league in scoring. You know I'm still bad and I'm still foreign. I'ma give bitches time to get hot. Chill out at the game, New York, Knickerbock. If they actually got bars, they can rock. But if not, I'ma destroy chicks a lot. Oh, but on the pill, I'm in album mode. I just dropped this freestyle before these files get old. When I lay low, bitches be safe and sound. When I come back, they better not make a sound. I hear you when I'm back on the prowl. You bitches better have my money, 'cause I'm coming for you. Ooh, ooh. Okay. I order rich bitch sauce. Rich bitch cold, got a rich bitch cough. Which bitch want it, I go rich bitch off. 'Cause you know my style getting ripped off. When I'm at the restaurant, rich bitch sauce. Rich bitch cold, I got a rich bitch cough. Rich bitch want it, I go rich bitch off. And you know my style getting ripped off. Off, 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 off. I'm a boss. Ask Lil Wayne who the 5-star bitch is. Ask Lil Wayne who the 5-star bitch is. Ask Lil Wayne, ask Lil Wayne, ask Lil Wayne who the 5-star bitch is. Ask Birdman who the 5-star bitch is. Ask Young Money who the 5-star bitch is. Who the 5-star bitch is. Who the 5-star bitch is. Ask Birdman who the 5-star bitch is.
Fuck wrong with these whole niggas. Don't do coke, I don't blow niggas. I don't tell niggas, I show niggas. And it's never less than like 4 niggas.
I noticed that when I was reading their website, because I'm kind of a weirdo, like I like to read a lot of stuff. I like to know who I'm buying from. I like to know ingredients. I like to know frequently asked questions because I like to know what other people are asking. I was on the site one day and I was reading their frequently asked questions, and I will show a picture of it right here. They asked, people said, if my brush starts with a C, is it still the same brush? Now you notice all Morphe's brushes, and they have different specialty collections now with like the gunmetal is G, but the original, like these Morphe brushes are M and then a number. Well, Crown Brush does that very same thing, and not all of their brushes are numbered, but it would say C and then a number. Well, Morphe's brushes all used to say C and then a number. Now, C doesn't stand for makeup brush, obviously, doesn't stand for Morphe, so what would it stand for? I'm thinking Crown. I'm thinking Crown made their brushes, and in the beginning when they weren't realizing how big that they would get, they just kept the same numbers and ordered it like that. That's also less silk screening, so less of a cost involved. So then I saw that they changed that, which is very smart of them because now they're using different brush numbers and different lettering. That was my first sign. The second one is when I picked up these eyeshadow palettes. Here's a Morphe eyeshadow palette, and here's a Crown eyeshadow palette. Now, granted, the layouts aren't the same. The colors aren't going to be identical in here because if Crown is making their eyeshadows, Morphe still picks what mix they want them in, if that makes sense. So this is the 35 color neutral eyeshadow palette by Crown. And this palette is the 35N, which is supposedly stands for neutral on the Morphe. Now I want to show you. First of all, the Crown eyeshadows are cheaper than these. This one you get a mirror with. So how they save cost to make more profit is they get rid of the mirror. You know, the packaging is a little more flimsy, and then they just mark it up slightly. So obviously, this packaging that comes with the 2 little brushes here and the mirror is going to cost more than this. At the same exact amount of product, a lot of the colors in palettes to palette are identical. They don't have names, so I can't say 100% for sure. And if I go through and swatch every single, I mean, it's a ton. I'm not making this video to knock Morphe or anybody that likes it. I just want people to know, because there is a value in these palettes if it's that you like to follow along with makeup tutorials. If you like to follow along with makeup tutorials or see your favorite YouTuber do a look and you want to copy them step by step, then it might be of value to you to keep buying directly from Morphe, because they do put them in their own order and mix and all of that. If you're a makeup artist, or you know, you're younger and you just enjoy playing with your makeup, you don't care, I would recommend that you save a few dollars, get a better palette with a mirror, and buy directly from the source, and then you can do all your own looks. You don't have to worry about following step by step. So just out of curiosity, I highlighted the ingredients and I went and searched on them. I have taken notes, so I want to make sure I touch on everything. So Morphe, Sedona Lace, Makeup Artist Network, Bella Face, almost identical to Coastal Scents. There are a few different ingredients. AliExpress, Must Have Cosmetics, MadeInChina.com, all have the exact same formulations of the eyeshadows that are in these palettes. Their individual shadows do have a slightly different formula, and to be fair, they just came out with a new luxury eyeshadow, or a premium one, and those ingredients are slightly different. So they might be making their own products now, or attempting to. The part that I find odd is that when I've seen some of the reviews, they're actually kind of saying they don't like the new individual ones, they like these better, which would be saying they don't like the ones that they've made, they like these.
I had my first meeting with my first lab in 2014. I believe it was in April of 2014. Sat down, said, I've saved $80,000 and I want to start a makeup line and I want to order hundreds of thousands of units. And they laughed at me. They didn't return my calls. They didn't respond to my emails. And that's when it all started. 2014. So here we are now. It's been a really long time coming. But I just want to say, I know everyone's like, why would it take that long? How does creating something take that long? It's not like I worked on this product and this brand every single day since 2014. No, absolutely not by any means. But there were so many things that failed and went wrong. And there were so many little things that went wrong. Little things that really aren't that big of a deal, that people might not even notice, but they're a big deal to me, and they would keep me awake at night because it's my brand and it literally has my name on it. I was encouraged by so many people to change the name of my brand, not put my name on it, call it, blah, 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 by Jaclyn Hill. That way, if I want to sell it, or that way, if a product isn't that good, it's not my name that takes responsibility, right? And I'm just like, no, that's not my journey for my brand. My name is on these products and on every box and the website and the Instagram and the socials for a reason, because these are my products that I am creating. I am putting my heart and soul to. Nothing is ever going to launch or be released that I personally have not worn, tested, and love.
doing a very in-depth investigation to figure out exactly what's going on so that I can give you the most informed information as a brand owner. The first thing that I want to address before anything else is the accusations that my lipsticks are expired, moldy, or hazardous in any way, shape, or form. My lipsticks did not go into mass production until the same month that I actually launched my brand. It was only a couple weeks prior to my launch that we started actual mass production. Although I had been so in depth with my formulation, my colors, and approving all of that, mass production did not go into production until right before my launch because we wanted them to be fresh. We didn't want them to sit on shelves. And because my brand has been pushed back so many times, I actually already went through the same situation with a different lab several years ago. I went into mass production, ended up having an issue while in mass production, and then didn't launch my brand and had to go to a whole new lab because I didn't want those issues to happen again. So I canceled them and went somewhere else. I tried to cover my tracks. I f***ed up, but they are not expired. And I'm very sorry that this launch was not absolutely 100% perfect with a bow on it, but we will make it right for you. And going forward, we will no longer be experiencing these experiences that we are having. We are taking drastic measures to change that and make sure that everything is amazing for you. I actually have had to pull several launches because I was doing them with this lab that I had coming up and had to change labs on several different products. So there's going to be a slight delay in some things later on, but that doesn't matter. Like, I just want to make sure that you guys are receiving the best of the absolute best. So in the future, even if you choose not to be a Jaclyn Cosmetics customer, even if you lose trust in me, that's okay. Like, I understand. I promise you guys all around the board perfect products, and not all of them were all around the board perfect products. So I get it, but I'm going to work very hard and I'm going to work very diligently to make sure that within the next couple of months, within the next year, you're going to look at my brand and be like, oh, wow, this actually is good. Like, she actually corrected her error and she learned from her mistakes, because it's exactly what I'm going to do. And I'm so sorry for anyone who received anything less than perfect. I take full responsibility. This is my brand with my name on it and my team that I've created. And I am so sorry that you've received something that is not exactly how I described it to you. So
fast forward to now with Lipstick Gate. Me being vocal, okay, so her lipsticks launched and I was really excited about them because I knew for the longest time she was gonna have a nude set of lipsticks. I'm like, cool, would love some nude lipsticks myself. I didn't purchase them in the beginning because I knew they were gonna sell out, and I was like, I don't have time to sit on the site and try to stock it. I know she'll restock, I'll get some later. So when the lipsticks launched, it started coming out with people saying that the lipsticks were scratchy or whatever. And my first thought was, okay, people are being dramatic or whatever. They're just trying to find something to tear apart, whatever. Stayed low, didn't say anything. And then it was one after another of people showing things that were going wrong with the lipsticks. And for me, this is what made me speak up, was when I think it was Brianna. And I've met Brianna, we've contacted her, we've stayed in touch with her over the years, and she's truly genuine. She's a good person. I don't feel her to be dishonest or anything. She pulled the lipstick out, the long hair out of the lipstick, and I was like, that's not as good. Okay. Over time, after I started seeing like shards of plastic, the long hairs, the black hairs, I saw Christy do her microscope thing, then I'm like, okay, this is now not just a fluke thing, like this is contamination. Whether it's a dangerous one or not, things being embedded in lipsticks with all of those things, it's not just one thing, that is contamination. That's just factual of what it is. And so that's when I knew at this point the lab that I truly believe did this. And that's why I got so upset. Okay, so on June 6th, 2016, it was a Monday. I know it because I have it on my calendar. I have saved all of my appointments where I go. I was at this lab working on my concealers that I never launched, and I will show you pictures of them. These are my concealers. They had shards of plastic in them. They had fingerprints. They had hairs in them. They had black specks in them. Does that sound familiar? These were concealers that I had with this lab that I was at on June 6, 2016. working on them. Once we got full production, I never launched them. I never really spoke on why, and it was devastating for me because I still have my prototype one right here. This is not the production one, so it's not super funky. This was a hand pressed one in the lab. It looks good from here. I'd been using it and everything like that. So this lab that I was at, June 6, 2016, I saw Jaclyn there. And I had texted her. I found out that she was going to be in the same city this lab was, and I texted her. This is, you know, after our collaboration and everything. I was like, hey, I saw you're going into town. Would love to just meet you for coffee. And she responded like she didn't have time. She was busy. I'm like, okay. So then I'm sitting in my lab, and I'm down in my lab rep's office, which is kind of weird because usually I'm in the conference room. And so I was like, this is kind of odd. And my lab rep was kind of like fumbling around, like trying to tell me like, oh, we didn't have this date scheduled. I was like, no, it's on the calendar right here. And my team is coming with me. So it was me, myself, and 2 other of my staff members were there. So we're sitting there working on product. One of my staff members go to the bathroom, comes back and was like, Jaclyn's here. And I was like, okay, oh, that's okay. Well, Jaclyn's here. Okay. And I didn't go down because she was in the conference room with another, just say another person. And my lab rep, as soon as she heard that, my staff member came in and said, Jaclyn's here. This is unprofessional for the lab rep's part. It was like, oh yeah, we're working on Jaclyn's lipsticks. I was like, okay, like in my mind, the red flag, I'm like, that's a huge protocol no. Like no lab should ever talk about whose products they make or any of that. And so I was like, okay, let it slide from there. Fast forward to now, so after I got my concealers that had all of these issues with them, I had let Jaclyn know. I was like, look, I've had issues with these concealers. I know you were at this lab or whatever, or if, you know, I don't know who's doing your lipsticks, honestly, but don't work with this lab because I had a really shitty problem with them. It is well known, this is why I'm so vocal, is because it is well known now behind the scenes of the beauty community with many manufacturers, with other CEOs, with other labs. The whole industry behind the scenes now knows that this one specific lab has had an issue multiple times with multiple peoples with producing, I'm just going to say it, shitty product. And so, it's no surprise there. So when I saw these lipsticks come out, I cannot say for sure if these lipsticks are made at that same lab. I'm not there on the production line to see it physically. I'm just saying that if I see you at this lab and then I see that these products are here, I told you, like I gave you recommendations for other labs to work with. After that, I was like, I didn't have anything else to say. I figured she's got it on her own. My problem with the whole situation wasn't even the lipsticks having issues. It happens. The lab should be the one that held responsible. They're the ones that put out shitty product if it is contamination and all of that. Like, it's not okay. How this lab is still in business, I don't know. I can't say the name of it because of legalities, and I'm not gonna, this isn't like a drama thing. I'm just stating the truth that it is well known that this lab has produced garbage. And so, that's why I was so vocal, you guys. It was no hatred for Jaclyn. I'm genuinely concerned about the safety of people using these. Whether it has like, you know, people are making assumptions that it's mold, it's fungus. I don't know. I can't say. I'm not a chemist and we have to wait until they're tested. But however, even if there's a slight chance that there's something in here that could be a risk to anyone, why not just halt it? Why not just put a statement saying, don't use these, let's, you know, wait to test them or whatever. But it was silence. So in this mind, now I'm getting upset because I'm like, okay, I'm truly concerned. This is my community too. And yes, I know I'm inserting myself into drama or whatever, but it's not, it was never some sort of hatred to her because we've been cool for many years. I have a problem with how the situation was handled because it affects the people using them, especially those with compromised immune systems, those who are pregnant, the elderly, because just God forbid, I'm not saying it's for certain, but if it has something that can make people sick, if it can, we don't know yet, it's not good. So just make a statement or recall it. That's what insurance is for. For us with our concealers, I didn't launch them. It cost us a lot of money. We lost our shirt on that stuff, but we did recover it some by fortunately having insurance for things like this. If you have product you can't sell, ultimately it's the lab's responsibility and they usually take care of issues with that. But with this one, so it was such a battle to try to get this taken care of. We had insurance take care of it. That's what it's there for. So anyways, I was vocal because I'm truly, truly concerned. And then when the statement came out about the white gloves, then I was like, look, I've been on producing makeup for many years. I've never once, and I personally go in these labs myself. The product development that I do for Makeup Geek, I work on them myself. I had a very brief time where I had a product developer work on some products, but in the end, I was like, I know what I want for my company, and so I've been the one at the labs working on products. So I know, I've been in there, I view it, and I definitely make sure that any lab we work with that I've seen how clean it is, how is the customer service and all that, just to check. Anyways, never seen white gloves unless they're putting the caps on. So if you have a shiny tube, you have a white glove, then yes. But on the actual production floor, it just didn't make sense to me. So that's why I started being more vocal, because if the general audience doesn't have the experience behind the scenes of producing makeup, but I do, I'm going to be vocal about it. It's not coming from a vicious place. It's coming from genuine concern. I know, I feel like I'm rambling now, but I just have to get this off my chest, you guys. I am the type of person that will be honest even if it hurts. If my friends, and my family know this, that I will ride or die for them. I will be the first one to tell them that they look beautiful, that they, are doing a great job and things, and I mean it. But on the same term, if my cousin comes up to me and was like, look, Marlena, does my poo stink? I'm gonna be like, girl, your poo stinks. I'm sorry, but it's okay. We got Glade, we got matches, we got plugins. It's okay. I still love you. I think your hair smells great, but your poo, it doesn't smell like roses. I'm sorry. That's the person I am. It doesn't mean that I'm hateful towards that person. So for me, speaking out, it's coming from a place of, look, I don't believe the white glove story. And then after that was kind of debunked, then it found out later a statement that it was white cloths cleaning out the vats and all of that stuff. It was 0.01% of people were unhappy. It was just things that were not lining up. And that's when I became really vocal, because I feel like the beauty community and the general audience as a whole, I really do care about, that deserve to know, this is standard production times. These are things that usually happen when you're making makeup. This stuff isn't adding up, and that's all. So I wanted to get that off my chest, you guys, because I'm tired of my motive being made out, well, just because a collaboration didn't work, Marlena just was waiting for Jaclyn. I'm like, I'm going to say this, you guys. I've had so much personal stuff going on in the last 2 years that I did my domestic abuse video and all that. I didn't talk about, because I didn't want everyone to think I'm trying to play a victim or whatever, but I have gone through absolute garbage in the last 2 years. Garbage, you guys. It's been the roughest 2 years of my life, in my personal life. All of that, if I'm dealing with that, I'm just gonna say it. That stuff to me is way more important and deserves my time than some BS going on in the community. I'm sorry. I'm not sitting in the corner for 3 or 4 years after collaboration, can't wait for, her to mess up and I'm gonna pounce on it. Who does that?
Makeup tutorials, that's my real passion. I mean, I don't want to say my real passion. It's one of my strongest passions, that along with developing makeup. I've wanted to create and own my own cosmetic brand since I worked at MAC Cosmetics at Woodfield Mall in Chicago when I was 20 years old, which was 9 years ago. And that's always been my dream. And that's why this whole thing has been so hard for me, because I completely failed. I say it every day and I'm still just I choke on those words. My launch was a failure. It failed. It sucked. I spent so much time working on that brand. I spent so much time hyping people up. I was so excited and I was so confident. And honestly, I was so confident that I was almost cocky, to be quite honest, because I was just like, this is going to be the best thing that people have ever seen. The best lipsticks the market has ever seen. Like, I was working with the best lab, with the best people. I had spent all this money. I was just like, this is amazing. Like, I was so confident to the point of cockiness. I did not have a quality control team big enough to handle what I was doing at all. And I totally messed up. And the fact that I had to mess up and show my ass in front of millions of people who love me and trust me sucks. But still, that's not why I went black and deleted my accounts. It's not because I was embarrassed. We'll get to that in a minute. That's not at all the reasoning. But I just have to say I'm sorry. It's so important to me that you guys know how sorry I am and how embarrassed I am. Like, this has just been shocking. It's been shocking. I messed up in more than one way. I was way too overconfident in my launch, and I was not enough involved in quality control, and I overhyped it for you guys for what ended up happening. I trusted the wrong people. I did a lot of things that I should not have done, and I just feel terrible for anybody who received a lipstick that wasn't perfect. That's why I gave every single person a refund. And in this past month, I have built an entire new quality control team. I have brought on several different people for all different things. And that's why I left social media. I know that people think that I left social media because I was running away and I was hiding, and I get it. I completely understand it. That's exactly what it looks like. That's what I would think too. But the reason I had to get away from social media and just fully delete it is because at that point I had refunded everybody every single penny they had spent. I was humiliated, I was embarrassed, and it was time for me to start picking things up and putting the pieces back together and rebuilding. Still did not respond the way a brand owner should. I need a little time to get used to being a brand owner. It's definitely a different world for me. I try to be polite and try to be nice, but still sometimes I'm just like not the way I should be, and I'm out of line. And I was out of line, and I reached out to her directly and apologized to her, and she was very sweet for accepting my apology. But still, just publicly, I want to say that that wasn't cool for me to not sit back, wait, see if anything else happened, do investigation. I should have DM'd her privately and had a conversation. I should not have done that. And so for that, I am very sorry, and will definitely be more mindful of that in the future, of taking care of my customers. I am doing every single thing in my power to make sure that things like this never happen again. And if they do, we'll deal with it. But I'm doing every single thing that I possibly can and working so damn hard behind closed doors to make sure that we are good to go in the future, and it is and becomes the brand that I promise you guys. So